So, today we're gonna talk about some things. First of all, the first recording that I've had today was really not that well. Probably because I wasn't drinking quite anything up to this point in the day, and I've just drinking something, and now I feel way better. So if you feel like you can't talk and whatnot, please drink something, try to get a little bit of airflow, try to get a little bit of oxygen, maybe also move, because sitting on your fucking ass all day long might not be the best thing. But I actually wanted to talk about something different today. The thing is, so a little bit of an explanation, a little bit of a scenario. Well, my scenario. Yeah, not a scenario, but my scenario. My scenario is that the next week I'm gonna start working. And today we're having Wednesday. Today I actually wanted to have my computer exam or my computer test for my driving license. But since I've just came to the conclusion yesterday on which day I wanted to kind of have a pre-test thing, to see whether I just have learned well enough and stuff. I am not really prepared. So I didn't even take the test, the pre-test, but I thought, well, and I've been talking to my mother and she was like, well, I don't know, and since since I don't have anything to do anyway, I thought, well, let's just make sure that I really know stuff and that I really am prepared, because it costs money, 180 bucks if you fail the test, which is not nice, which is not good. So thing about it, I wanted to just look up something, Wait a second, please. I just wanted to look up something, quite necessary to now have a look at. Well, anyway, I wonder. Well, the thing is, what did I talk about? So the whole thing is, the next week I'm gonna start working. I don't know what I've been talking about beforehand, but now I know. Anyway, I'm gonna start working next week. So this is something that we have to do, and I've been talking about it before. This is something that we have to do in Austria. Like, all male people have to do either social work or go to the military for either 6 months of military or 9 months of social work. I'm gonna do the social work since I think and believe that it is more sensical, but I actually don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna see whether it is sensical or more sensical or no. Let me have a look at it. The 31st. Well, it is I didn't know that. I thought it is, well, because I just looked up something, because there is going to be some event and on the 31st, and I always thought that it is Saturday, but it is not. But it is Friday, which is way better, just because I said, like, on the 3rd of August I'm gonna start working, which is a Monday, and so I do have a little bit more time to rest and make sure that I don't die or whatever. So which means that I have to pass today and pass tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have this event, and then I'm fine, and then I can work, and then I which is, by the way, a pretty interesting thing, because once I've read on Reddit, which I've also recorded then, I've talked about a question, and I've been just going through a question. And the question was, I'm living my life just only for a few events that I'm having just week after week. And the rest of the time, I'm just, quote unquote, preparing for those events. And also in the episode, I've been like, well, this is basically what I'm doing as well. I have certain events in my life, and I have certain things in my life, and I'm trying to fill my life with those things so that it makes sense, maybe. But it depends heavily on how you think about things, because recording and just also designing my posts and all these things, and also just trying to grow everything and all of that things, they are also a task, they are also an event. And if I'm treating them like an event, if I just look forward to these things, if I'm just trying to maybe dedicate a little bit more time to those things just because I have more time at this point in time, it makes them more of a special thing, I would say, and I would consider, and I would argue. And so I today I'm also just dedicating some time to just doing the posts and designing them. And I'm probably also going to try to make something new and just look for just some new ways. And I think today is going to be the day where I'm going to start the other podcast, that I'm having, which I'm having in progress. And I haven't started it. I'm a dumbass for 2 weeks or something. And I am going to do so. So, it's a design podcast. It is all about design. It is all about designing things. And I don't know. The thing is, I could really, I think that I just really have to do a lot of things now, because I have the time and I should go out and stuff like that. But I also have to recover since, I'm a little bit like just fucked and stuff. But the thing is, but I now just realized Friday isn't that well just because Sunday is my rest day. So on Saturday, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. Then Saturday is gonna be my rest day, I guess, I believe. And the thing is that, it makes it a little bit fucked up there. Anyway, the thing is, I always have to do something, and I always just also have the urge to do something. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to progress in this, and I have to just structure my day in that way. Most often it just boils down to me driving my bicycle, not quite nonsensically, just around town, but it is actually not that nonsensical because, I'm trying to pass time, basically. And this is unfortunately a thing for some days. And on some other days, I'm just entirely stressed out because I want to do so many things. And I also just put so many things on my own shoulders, to be honest, as well. And but it is a task for me. And it is a conscious task for me to enjoy those days where it is like today, where it's like, okay, I just don't have that much to do. And So what? Should I be miserable? Should I be just being like, well, I have to do something? But in fact, like, if you think about it in that way, that, okay, I know that the next week is going to be about working, and from this point on, fucking 9 months are going to be about fucking working. So I should better really try to, enjoy those days and enjoy those this bit of time that I'm having now where I can just relax and, maybe think about things, maybe go out, maybe listen to an audiobook, maybe read a book, maybe all these things, because then it's going to be a higher level, not necessarily stress, but it's going to be higher level productivity, since I'm still going to do the podcast and I'm still just trying to also keep it on a very high level. I don't know if there's going to be 2 episodes each day then, or if it is only going to be quote unquote, going to be 1. But I'm going to see, But I like to have a full day. This is something that I know. I don't like to be able to think about things endlessly. I don't like to just be bored. I don't like to feel like that I'm just being unproductive, which I really hate, by the way. I just don't like it. This is also why I sometimes block YouTube, so that I just don't spend too much time on it and all of these things. But I think I'm going to start the podcast today after this episode, since it's going that smoothly. And also just because I want to figure out whether this is cool or not, whether I enjoy it or not, a design, a technology, and that stuff podcast that is not about, developing oneself, but it's more or less like a more funny topic, more funny things. I don't know. It's a difficult thing, but I really try to consciously enjoy those days and have a different perspective on what I'm doing and what my next time is going to be. Because as I said, like, there's not going to be that much time for just nonsensical, quote unquote, chilling and just doing whatever and stuff. And, it's going to be different. And I do want to encourage you, and this is also why I'm recording this video, and this is also why I'm making this video, that you think about your time. And if you're having the same problem as I'm having, if you just really kind of always have to do something, and if you're always kind of stressed out to do something and be productive, if you're having this time to relax a bit more and chill out a bit more, why don't you just use it also for that? Why don't you use it for just maybe also figuring out new things and just trying out new things that you haven't had the time before, and all of these things? I don't want to say that you should completely schedule every single hour of your day for something, and this is something that you should actually not be doing, I guess. because there is going to be some time when quarantine ends, for example, where you just have to do shit again, and where you have to work again, and where you have to just do whatever again, whatever you're doing, whether you're having a business, whether you're an employee, and you have to do something again. So, of course, I don't like it. I don't like to have too much time, to be honest. To really be honest, maybe I just don't know how to fill it, so that I feel good about it. Because, this is, I think, essentially what my problem is. I don't know what to fill my time with that feels sensical and good. The past 2 weeks, I've actually been just having a course for the driving license and stuff like that. So this is an ongoing thing. This is what I'm having. Then, of course, the other podcasts that I'm having. But these are all things that I feel about them as if they are just optional, especially the podcast. Like, it is something that I've started, and it is something that I also want to do. But it is like, maybe I'm actually not going to cut it. This is something that I thought about. Maybe I have to. Quite. So, yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. I feel like that these things are not sensical. I feel like that also this podcast recording, it is something that I do. I don't just necessarily think about it as just the biggest task and whatever. This is something that I do, and I'm doing it every single day. And it is also sometimes a very great way to just go through things and think through things, as I'm just doing it right now. This is kind of a selfish thing to do, but I'm also trying to just actually go ahead with things that are hopefully going to change somebody and hopefully going to help somebody. But it feels very optional. Maybe just because it is not my job. Maybe because I'm not doing it on a professional level, even though I'm doing it every day, always, no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling. So you could consider it just being something that I'm doing on a quote unquote professional level. But yeah, I still feel about it as if it is something optional, as if it is something that I could also not do. And of course, I could also not do that. And I actually thought through that today. I thought like, well, what if I actually just don't do it? What is going to happen? And I think that I'm just going to be completely bored all day long, because then there's actually no fucking thing for me that I'm doing that is somehow sensical. Of course, I'm still going to work out, because this is something that I've been doing for like just quite some time. So this is something that I'm going to do. But it's which is probably going to be the same thing as I've done just in previous periods of time where I haven't had the podcast. I've, been working out, and the rest of the day I've, for example, been driving my bike around town all the time, because it is something that I enjoy, and it is actually something that I like to do. And I also just, by doing this, I don't think about a lot of things, But this shouldn't be life, I guess. It shouldn't be life where you just do things so that you don't think about things. So, just you're doing things to pass time and use your time somehow. This shouldn't be the case. It really should not. But this is how I'm feeling very often when I'm just, as I said, doing some things that I have just put onto my own shoulders. When it is not about like, okay, I have to go to school because I have to. This is not something that that I want to do, but it is something that I have to do. And I also have to go to work, and it just is something that, I don't know, maybe isn't just about me doing this. Maybe if somebody says to me like, okay, you have to record today, maybe I'm going to feel about it on a different level. Maybe I'm going to feel about it differently. But I really heavily suggest to you that you should think about these things that you're doing in a different way, because it's only about my thoughts. It's only about how I'm feeling about those things. It's only about how I just view them. I view them as something quote unquote optional. I view them as something that I've done to myself. But if I view them as, okay, an opportunity to do something good, to do something nice, to do something that I'm seeking to do, then it's going to be something different. Also with the designs, when I just think, well, I could do something in 10 minutes, but I could also just devote some time to that and actually make something great and put it then into my portfolio, for example. And I could also start something new. I could also just try to, I don't know. It's just about thinking. It's just about thinking about these things in a different way. It's just about, it's strange. It really is. And so think about things in a different way. Think about things, Amor Fati. or Amor Fati, however. Love faith. This is my faith right now. This is what my life is like right now. I'm having great friends behind my back, which is amazing, which I just totally enjoy. And I'm also very happy about the fact that I'm doing more with friends and more with people, or specifically one person that I have been knowing for fucking 10 years. Shout out to you. Love you. I really do. I really fucking do. And I don't know, like, it's all about thinking about what you do in a different way, I think. Not necessarily about the things that you do, but how you think about them, you know, because you can also think about like cooking as something that's of course essential because you would die without it. But yeah, think about things in a different way. This is the point of this video, I think. And I hope that some people can draw some conclusions out of it, and maybe I am able to just share some things that are of importance to somebody. I'll see. I will see, and we're gonna see. And yeah, bye-bye. Thank you.